Hello everyone, I'm Dragons After Dark, and today we'll be going over my Falcosaur Team Rumble strategies for Heliosus in Legion Dalaran. The coordinates and Zufu's links will be in the description. The rematch strings, tdScripts, and steps can be found at the links. The tips for these fights will be to make sure the Falcosaur you are battling with is summoned before you begin your fight, and that the Falcosaur does not need to be in slot 1, enter the battle, or survive to complete the requirement. Heliosus is a single enemy fight, and they are an elemental, so let's get started. First up, we have our Bloodgazer Team Rumble, and for this team I have Purity, Wicked Lurker, and the Bloodgazer Hatchling. So we have Purity in here to disruption the egg buff off of Heliosus so that they won't have their resurrect ability. We'll have Wicked Lurker to come in to slow Heliosus down, hit him with some aquatic attacks since they are an elemental, and then the Bloodgazer Hatchling will clean up, so let's get started. The first thing we are going to do for this matchup is we are going to Cleansing Rain, which is going to buff the Tentacle Slap for Wicked Lurker because Cleansing Rain gives a buff to aquatic abilities. And then we are going to Disruption to remove Helios's Rise from the Ashes ability, which will send them into an egg mode and then they will resurrect, and we don't want that. And at that point we will just bite until Purity dies. It shouldn't take too terribly long. In fact, it should be this round. Next, you'll bring in your Wicked Lurker. And what we will do here is we are going to slow Heliosus with a lick. And then we will Tentacle Slap until either Heliosus or the Wicked Lurker dies. And that is it for the Bloodgazer Team Rumble. Next up, we have our Direbeak Team Rumble. For this team, I have the Cold Light Surf Runner, Glimmer, and of course the Direbeak Hatchling. For this one, you are going to use Inner Vision to buff your Whirlpool hits with the Cold Light Surf Runner, and if it doesn't manage to kill Heliosus, you'll bring Glimmer in to clean up. And the same for the Direbeak Hatchling. If Glimmer doesn't manage, the Direbeak can come in. I've never had to have the Direbeak come in though. So let's get started. For this one, we are going to open with Whirlpool. We will hit Inner Vision for round 3. And then we will Fish Slap. Okay, so now Heliosus is going into their egg mode, and what we are going to do here is we will Fish Slap, Whirlpool, Inner Vision, Fish Slap, and sometimes the dot will kill the Cold Light Surf Runner, at which point you will need to bring in Glimmer to clean up, but it is purely there as a cleanup pet, and it really should only need Water Jet. However, if the Cold Light Surf Runner wasn't able to put Whirlpool on the egg version of Heliosus, you will need to Whirlpool and then Water Jet. But that is it for the Direbeak battle. Our next team is for the Sharptalon Team Rumble. For this team I have the Netherspace Abyssal, the Minfernal, and the Sharptalon Hatchling. This one I'm going to dot up with Immolate and Explode to chunk down Helios's health. We'll clean it up with the Sharptalon Hatchling, sending it into its egg mode, and then we will use Falcosaur Swarm and its other abilities to kill it before it can resurrect. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do here is Immolate to get a dot up on Heliosus. Then we will Explode. Then we're going to bring in the Minfernal. We'll crush once. And then we will explode. Now, if you don't get a crit, you will need to bring in the Sharptalon hatchling to Wild Winds and send Heliosus into its egg mode, but that did not happen. So we will skip the Wild Winds. We're going to go straight into the Falcosaur Swarm. Then we will Wild Winds, which is nice because it hits that nice 50% debuff. We will Predatory Strike. And that is it. That is the Sharptalon Team battle completed. And our last team, as usual, is the Snowfeather Team Rumble. For this one, I have the Spirit Crab Severs with a power restriction of greater than 332 power, so that would be the PP breed or power breed, and the Snowfeather Hatchling. So this one is pretty much similar to all the other ones. We're going to use a buff to basically buff the damage of Whirlpool, and then we will clean up with the other pets once Heliosus goes into egg mode, and that's it. So let's get started. For this one, again, we will be opening up with Whirlpool. We're going to apply Amplify Magic. We are going to swap to our Severs. Squeeze. Which will send Heliosus into egg mode. Now we will swap back to our Spirit Crab. And we are going to do the same steps all over again. We will Whirlpool. Amplify Magic, swap to our Severs, and squeeze. And that is the Snowfeather Team Rumble done. And that's it. You've won all of your fights for your Falcosaur Team Rumble matches versus Heliosus in Legion Dalaran. Congratulations! If there's another fight you'd like to see a video of, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Until next time, I wish you all the best of luck, thank you for stopping by, and happy battling!